Well, the whole thing lasted just over 3 hours, and the West Indies spent the afternoon playing football on the outfield. I wonder if Brian Lara has spoken to his mate Dwight Yorke during the course of the past 24 hours. Anyway, on to Durham now, and the trials and tribulations of the Aussies. Tom Moody and Brendan Julian brought in at the expense of Paul Rifle and Damien Martin. This really was a match that the Australians had to win. Lose, and they were out. Well, Bangladesh beat Scotland earlier in the week, as you know, but realistically they were on a hiding to nothing here. They kept the same 11 from the Edinburgh match. Well, the Australians won the toss and they put Bangladesh in. Our commentary team of Chris Broad, Jeff Thompson, Roland Butcher and Ralph Deller make a lot of mentions of run rates during the course of this, but that will only become a factor in the event of sides being level on points after all the matches have been played. So I hope that clears that up. Here we go. The score is 10 without loss, and it's McGrath bowling to Mahmood.
And that's out. So McGrath strikes, and he's deserved that wicket. He really bowled quite beautifully this morning. Bangladesh 10 for 1. And Khaled Mahmood goes like this.
Yes, reward for a very good bit of bowling by Glenn McGrath. He's troubled both of these batsmen, and that one, good delivery, maybe coming slightly back at the batsman, and he's not particularly happy with that decision.
Farouk Ahmed is the new batsman. An interesting start. I'm not sure I'd want to be getting on the front foot quite as early as this. I think we might find that that's 4. It's got to be 4. We'll have another look at it, but I'm sure that Tom Moody was in contact with the rope the first time when he played the ball, and then had his foot over the line when he picked it up. Safe. And nothing Tom Moody can do about it. 4 more runs.
Well, it's in the air and over the top. Mehrab Hossain getting a fair amount of bat on that, and it's gone through for 4. I think Glenn McGrath will be terribly impressed with that. Another lovely shot. And out. What a brilliant catch. Farouk has been taken by Ricky Ponting, diving forward at point. Well, the Australian fielding is absolutely magnificent from time to time. This is another example of it. The end of Farouk for 9. So the new batsman, Naimur Rahman, coming in at number 4. A change of bowling from the Finkel end. Brendan Julian is into the attack. Oh, another lovely shot over point, and it's gone through for 4. Glenn McGrath, the fielder, down there at third man. Tom Moody knows English conditions very well, having played here for a number of seasons with Worcestershire and Warwickshire before that. And in the air and out. Rahman, the next batsman to go. And another flashing square drive of Tom Moody. In the air, Ricky Ponting again in the action.
Ponting not having to move one muscle at backward point, straight to him, and that's a big blow for Bangladesh.
The Bangladeshi captain, Aminul Islam, is the new batsman. Tom Moody really starting off his bowling performance well. And Mehrab over the top. Well, he's been tied down in this over for the first 4 balls. But then he gets a half volley and he puts it away beautifully. It's the 50 up for Bangladesh. And the first runs off Tom Moody. Aminul given a little bit of width, and he's driven that superbly past mid-off. Well edged, and this is racing away down to third man. Glenn McGrath, a vain attempt to stop the boundary.
Didn't know too much about that, but he's got 4 runs for it.
Well, a very unorthodox shot here from Hussain. Probably come forward and wasn't expecting the short delivery there. There he gets on the front foot, but it's a half sweep off the forehead. Lucky he didn't miss it.
That wasn't far away.
Well, he didn't know much about this one. Nearly chopped it back onto his stumps, onto his legs, and then just kicks the ball away again.
Australia will perhaps want to get some wickets now. They won't want these two to settle and be in a position to really press on in the later overs of the innings. And that's out. Exactly what Australia wanted. Mehrab Hussain has been there for 74 balls. He scored 42 runs, but just playing it in the air once too often, and he is out, and this is how.
Well, he's tried to hit it back with a point again. Just gets the edge there, outside edge, and that's the simplest of catches there to Ricky Ponting. A very good innings there, a little bit flashy to start with, but did a pretty good job. He's on his way for 42 from 75 balls, and the 4th wicket down for 72.
Minazul Abeden is the new batsman, known as Nanu. That was well hit, and a good piece of fielding. Brendan Julian really committing himself to that, and needed to, otherwise it was through for 4.
He's a big man, he's pretty athletic, and a big reach, just hauls it in.
In the air, but once again safe, and once again 4 runs down to third man. And it seems that Minazul has taken over where Mehrab left off. And that will do more. In fact, 4 more. That was a good shot.
Well, that's much better batting. 4 for 88 after 25 overs.
Steve Waugh has decided it's time to introduce Shane Warne to the attack. 88 for 4 on the board, halfway stage of the Bangladeshi innings. And Warne starting with a big appeal, which didn't really impress umpire Steve Buckner.
Yeah, big shout here from Shane Warne. It's nothing we're not used to, but Warney, I think the reason for it, the shout is, doesn't really think he's playing at that delivery. He's stuck the leg out and just tucked the bat in behind.
And is out. While he's dragged it on, has Aminul. It was a shortish ball outside the off stump from Damien Fleming, and a very disconsolate Bangladeshi captain.
Well, a little bit disappointed in that, Aminul, I think. Really not quite as short as what he thought, and it's hit the underneath edge and just chopped it straight back onto the stumps. Probably not short enough to pull. Maybe Kidd did keep a little bit low. We've seen a little bit of indifferent bounce out there, but unfortunately Aminul's on his way for 13, and the 5th wicket down for 91.
Akram Khan is the new batsman. Well, edged again. Minazul's managed to get a bat on this. It's flown away down to third man. And 4 more to the Bangladeshi total. Brings them to within 1 of 100. Bangladesh have done a fairly good job here, having been put into bat. Oh, another appeal. And he's given. Steve Buckner shook his head and then put his finger up. And that's the end of Akram Khan. LBW to Shane Warne. Didn't get off the mark.
Well, he didn't know much about this either. He puts the foot down the pitch, just really smothering it, and that's just going straight on there. Steve Buckner nods the head at first. The batsman doesn't move, and then he lifts the finger. And Warney's got his wicket. Pretty happy with that. Good piece of bowling. Akram didn't know much about him right from the start. He's gone for a duck. 6 down for 99.
So the Bangladeshi wicketkeeper Khaled Masood is the next batsman. Edged again. This time straight down to Tom Moody at third man. Brings up the Bangladeshi 100. 100 for the loss of 6 wickets. And that's coming up in the 33rd over. Oh, big swing, and he's connected well with this one. 1 bounce and over the boundary's edge. Masood.
Bangladesh in a bit of trouble at the moment. 6 for 110. Julian. This one slashed right between the gap between keeper and slip. Slip gone around. Instead of being a first slip position, it's sort of gone around to a second, third area. Shane Warner's the man there. Batsman obliging with a big slash. Now just watch this go straight between the gap, top edge. I don't even think Warne picked that up, to tell you the truth.
Well, Steve Buckner wants another look at that. It appeared that the batsman, Minazul Aberdeen, was perfectly happily in. But Shane Warne thinks he's out. Pick up by Julian. Well, that could well be out. His bat wasn't grounded. Now, that's an absolutely borderline decision. And he's given the batsman the benefit of the doubt. There certainly was a degree of doubt, but Minazul Aberdeen will be very relieved to see that green light. Well, they all count, and it's very difficult to set a field for that.
Well, this is close, and umpire David Orchard gives Masood out. LBW, I don't think there's much doubt about that. He was looking to play it on the leg side. The ball was very straight. So quite a crucial breakthrough for Australia. Partnership of 44 by these two, but it's over now. 143 for 7.
Yes, I mean, bowling dead straight here by Tom Moody in these final overs. That's where you've got to bowl. You've got to pitch the ball up. You've got to bowl it straight. And if the batsman misses, then the umpire has got his job to do. And on that occasion, Moody was spot on.
So batsman coming in at the fall of the 7th wicket, Enamul Haq. Well, first delivery to Enamul is through to the boundary for 4. Outside edge, and it went very quickly past Adam Gilchrist.
Yes, they all count. At this stage of the innings, you don't mind where they come from. And sometimes the edge is perhaps better than the full-blooded shot because there's no fielder in that position, and that's 4 more.
So So the single brings up the Bangladeshi 150. There for the loss of 7 wickets. And that pleases their supporters, and there are plenty of them here today. Well, another outside edge, and McGrath is down on the boundary rope, and, well, he completely misjudged that. Didn't realise where the boundary rope was, and it's gone through for 4.
Yes, that's what we're talking about at this stage of the innings. The quicker bowlers, when they find the edge, they put the fielders under a lot of pressure, and McGrath, he's a tall man. He couldn't quite get down there. 1 foot over the boundary. 4 valuable runs.
And that's a lovely shot through the extra cover area. Ricky Ponting is the man after it, but he can't get it. Minhazul moves on to 49.
Right, once more McGrath looking for the Yorker, doesn't quite get it. It's a full toss. It's beautifully put away through extra cover. Ricky Ponting, he's very quick over the ground, but he's not going to make this one. That's 4 more.
And that's his 50. Well, he'll be absolutely delighted. He's played exceptionally well. 96 balls his 50 has come off, and he's been the mainstay of this Bangladeshi innings. So Damien Fleming to bowl the last ball of this Bangladeshi innings. And an appeal for an LBW not given. They go through for a leg bye, and the total finishes 178 for 7, with Minhazul not out on 52 and Inamul still there on 17. Very good effort by the Bangladeshis.
Well, Minhazul's Aberdeen's 53 it was, in fact, ensuring a respectable total from a low point of 99 for 6, and he and Mehrab Hussain getting well over half the total Bangladesh score. Shane Warne, 1 for 18 off 10 overs, and Tom Moody getting 3 cheap wickets on his return. He's 33 now, playing in his 3rd World Cup. I suppose you could say the Australian attack was mean and moody. So their target was just over 3.5 an over, and it was time for Adam Gilchrist to show what a good player he is. He's at the non-striking end as Mark Waugh faces Hussain.
And dropped. Well, a life for Mark Waugh. It was a wide delivery, and it was slashed very, very hard.
Yes, this is a missed opportunity here for Bangladesh to get an early strike. Mark Waugh slashing outside the off stump. It's gone straight to the fielder there at cover. Really should have been a regulation catch, but to the disappointment of the bowler, he's dropped it.
Monjurul Islam, left arm medium pace. Wide, and Mark Waugh needs no second invitation to have a go at this one. Oh, lovely shot. That's more like the Adam Gilchrist that we know. It was off the front foot, not really a half volley. Oh, another lovely shot through mid-wicket. No chance really of the fielder stopping it, but it is going to pull up in the outfield. They're through for 3, and good running by these 2 batsmen. Managed to get 4. Oh, another glorious shot, just fractionally short from Hasselball. Pulled away through mid-wicket. That's 4 more. Well, edged very nicely down to fine leg. 4 more to Adam Gilchrist. Well, again, Adam Gilchrist smacking Manjul straight back over the bowler's head for 4. He really is starting to play some wonderful shots. So the graph for Australia looking very good at the moment. They haven't lost a wicket yet. So an early inclusion into the game for Khalid Mahmood. And gets greeted with a boundary. It was a full toss, so it deserved to be put away, and Mark Waugh has done it superbly. Naima Rahman is the bowler at the Lumley end of the ground. Glorious shot, Mark Waugh, using his feet down the pitch, and he smashed it back past the bowler. 50 up for Australia.
Really shouldn't bowl there. I think it's fair to say that Khalid Mahmood hasn't got the pace to dig it in short on a pitch like this against a batsman like Adam Gilchrist. And that's gone out well. Khalid Mahmood might have learnt from the earlier ball. He patently didn't. That was better, but the result's going to be the same. Now the Australians really racing away with this. This is exactly what they wanted. They knew they had to try and take the opportunity to improve on their run rate, and they're doing just that. That's through and away for 4 more. He won't catch that. Well, what a productive over that has been for Gilchrist. That's his 9th 4. And 4 of them came in that over.
Get it! Oh!
Well, Steve Buckner went a whiter shade of pale then as that passed him.
This is a very good innings by Adam Gilchrist. I think this is a chance back to the bowler, but he's hit it with so much power. The bowler's decided he's having nothing to do with this one at all.
A nice way to bring up his 50 from just 34 balls, 10 fours. Now let's see what Minazul can do. No one's even bothering to chase that one. It's Gilchrist's 11th 4.
Get it! Oh!
There's a man out there, but he can't do anything about it. Placement again. There's a surety about Gilchrist batting at the moment, that he seems to be able to find every gap everywhere where there's not a fielder.
Get it!
4 more. Well, this is getting ridiculously easy now, particularly for Gilchrist. That was a smart piece of work. Khalid Masood bringing Gilchrist's marvellous little innings to an end. I say little, he scored 63 runs. He only faced 39 balls. And he's out stumped, and this is how.
Yes, Gilchrist should be very disappointed with this dismissal, because it was close to being a wide, and just not being able to get his bat back. But that's a good breakthrough for Bangladesh. Perhaps it's come a little bit too late.
Now, an interesting change to the batting order. Brendan Julian being promoted to come in at number 3, obviously with the intention of smashing the bowling about. Enamel Hock coming into the attack. Stumped. That was quite well bowled, and Khalid Masood not wasting the opportunity behind the stumps either. Now, this is not serious for Australia in regards to this match. The result is pretty well a foregone conclusion, but it is going to slow down their scoring rate. And again, a change to the order. Brendan Julian came in last wicket down, and now Tom Moody being promoted. That's away for 4. What a nice way to get off the mark. Aminul Islam really changing his bowling around, bringing back Hasibul Hussain, bowled 3 overs, cost 15 runs. Well, a wide, but it's away. That one's through too. That was in the air for some way. Well, that's a comparison. Annabelle Hott is absolutely delighted. It was a good ball, but really Brendan Julian will be very disappointed having missed out on this. So now Ricky Ponting at last comes in. Well, he completely misjudged that, making the schoolboy error of running in as soon as he saw the ball in the air. That's a big shot, that's 6 all the way. Lovely free flow of the bat.
Well, that's more like the Tom Moody English fans have become to know, with Warwickshire and Worcester.
Well, another big swish from Tom Moody, and he's found the gap again. And Ricky Ponting's in on the act, and that's a maximum. Got beautifully to the pitch of the ball, lifted it straight back over the bowler's head. And this is the best shot of the over. He smashed it through the extra cover area. So Khalid Mahmood is back into the attack. Well, it's not really an attack, is it? Back into the defence. And Tom Moody's found the gap straight away. What a glorious shot. He just stood there and swatted it through the offside. Well, not quite got hold of this one, but they're looking for 2. And Tom Moody goes to 50. And what a fantastic innings that is, off just 28 balls. Well, this is a big hit, but it's going out to the fielder, and he's got no chance of catching it. That's game over. Tom Moody has hit the winning run. Australia have won by 7 wickets. And it's been a fantastic performance by the Australian batsmen. They knew they had to wrap this game up quickly, and quickly they have done in just 19.5 overs.
Well, they sure weren't wasting any time there, were they? Tom Moody's exhilarating 56 to go with his 3 wickets earlier on earned him the Man of the Match award. And here are some figures that the Bangladesh attack won't want to see too often. 14 and over off Khalid Mahmood, 13 off Minazul. The Bangladesh attack going for 9 and over across the duration of the innings. Now let's forget run rates for a moment. Australia are back in it, but if New Zealand win either of their last 2 matches, and one's against Scotland, they'll have to beat the West Indies to go through. So book your seat for...